All right, so there have been some updates with the how to get to the SENTRI Road from Rosarito or Ensenada if you go all the way down, or if you just go on a road trip down past Ensenada and stuff. You're gonna come back. I highly recommend that you come back through the scenic route. It's better. It's easier to get to, and now because of the overhead, they call it the aqueduct. It is now a lot easier to get to the SENTRI lane, whether we have gone through it or not. This is the toll booth right here that'll get you out of or into Playas, going from south to north, right? So we're leaving Rosarito and going to the aqueduct right now. And I have my reservations and my pros and cons about the new way to get to the SENTRI. So you used to be able to get to the SENTRI lane through the Padre Quino, right? If you guys know about the SENTRI lane or are veterans of it, there are different ways to get into that particular lane. And the problem with that lane is that depending on how much traffic there is, there are different entry points to it, with the most extreme being all the way back from the street, Paseo de los Héroes entry point area. That roundabout usually what happens, right? But in this case, for us going through from the coast, coming up from Rosarito, there is really no better way to get to the SENTRI lane than this. And a couple twists and turns aside, it's easier to get to. It's gonna always be the same no matter how much traffic there is, and it's more controlled. There's less of a guessing game on it, and this is what I really like. It's very direct, very safe, and very just intuitive way to get to it. Once you get to it, it's just really simple is what I meant. The problem that I have with the SENTRI lane right now, though, is that there is a sort of a wishy-washy way with it right now on the other side of it. They don't, and to be honest, I can see what their point of view is. This is perfect, I think, for people coming from Playas and Rosarito and on the occasional from Ensenada, but it's really meant for, I think it's meant for people that are going to work from Playas to crossing the border, or maybe even from Rosarito, because there's really not too many entrants, or maybe even the people coming in from the other neighborhood here, Soler. By the way, there isn't a stop here. There's just happened to be something happening here with a police officer talking to somebody and why he or she stopped traffic in this particular lane. And you'll see the entry to this road here from the other sort of neighborhoods that are along this route. So it's not really meant for the main center of TJ and eastern part of TJ to use. And that is in and of itself kind of part of the problem, I think, to where, and you'll see on this particular day why that's an issue. They just flat out don't open up enough gates. I've been in there in the lane when they have one gate open, and I've been in the lane when they have up to 3 lanes open. On this particular day, they only had 2 lanes open, and the wait time was an hour. And this was a holiday. This was Saturday of Memorial Day weekend this year, 2026. And the problem that I had with it, again, is that when people go home on Monday, it's going to be even more of a problem as far as they should have 4, 5, maybe even 6 lanes open for SENTRI in this particular avenue and still keep the other SENTRI lane open as well. But I've asked the agents there, the Border Patrol agents, what they think about this lane and why sometimes it's open and sometimes it's basically down to, or sometimes why are there multiple gates open and why is there sometimes only one? And the agent told me that essentially this was supposed to be a temporary fix or a temporary entry point, is what he said, because it was going to be tested. And that to me kind of put me a little nervous, because for me it's the way to go. There's really no reason for me to use the Padre Kino exit, having this entry point, or the Padre Kino SENTRI point entry, having this option here. This highway road, the new aqueduct, was built so that you can get from Playas to the airport quick, and I've done it just to test it out, and yes, it is really quick and very convenient if that was our option. And to be honest, when you start to think about it, I've started to realize, how is it that why was it necessary? Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining because it was built, but I didn't really think that there was a lot of traffic from Playas to the airport, which is essentially what this is. It only has 3 exits before the airport. The first exit is the one for the SENTRI point. The next exit is the one that's in the center of town, which I didn't go off, and the third exit is the airport. So basically getting to this point is pretty easy. Instead of going into the 5 or the old route, you just go one exit later and you'll be able to get onto the aqueduct. I hope that was pretty easy to see. By the way, here it is a very slow ride. It's not highway speed, it's 40 miles an hour because of the way that it's built. It's not banked, it's got curved, and you're supposed to go slow in it. It's not meant for speeding at all, so just please be careful with that. It is meant to be for no more than 50 miles an hour when you get out of here, but it's really, and I don't think that is, I might be wrong, I think it's only 40 miles an hour the whole way. I don't speed because I don't have a vehicle that's low to the ground. I drive a little SUV type car, so and you know, I don't want to cause any problems, so that's the issue here. We're just going to take it slow. The other little issue with this is, again, it's not meant for speeding. I think the lanes are very narrow and there's no shoulder. So if you break down in the lane. Well, cost must have been the reason why they couldn't add one extra lane each way to keep it safe. But as you can see right here, there's no shoulder. So if you, for whatever reason, and it's not necessarily a breakdown, you can have a flat tire and you're going to have to keep going on the flat tire until you get to the exit, and at which point it's not that far, but it is not that close. But it is a time saver. Going on top here instead of going on the bottom gets you directly to the off ramp where we need to get off of. Now, there again, if you missed this off ramp, there isn't another one for a couple of kilometers, and I actually still don't know where that one leads to. You're gonna have to use if you miss it for whatever reason, you are gonna have to turn on your GPS and find out where you are and go from there. I don't think it's a bad thing actually where it's at. I'm gonna have to figure out where it is and where to take. It might be a better way to get to the Padre Kino side of it, but I'm gonna have to figure that one out later on. Now the exit doesn't come out like super quick. There's signs that says it's Center, TJ Center, or I'm not sure if it actually has San Diego SENTRI lane in it, but it is our first exit. Just keep that in mind. And again, you can't go fast down here. You have to go the speed limit, which is 35 or 40 miles an hour if I'm correct. You'll see that they're posted everywhere. The conditions of the roads are really nice. They're, at the moment, everything's brand new. There are no potholes. There's nothing on the road that's going to jump out at you or anything like that, unless someone is broken down, somebody's, for whatever reason. Here's our exit. Okay, now what we need to do when we get off of this exit is try to get to the right lane as soon as possible. I had another way that I like to go, which I thought was possibly better, but they've blocked off the road to go left. You can't go left anymore. So what we need to do at this intersection is go straight. We are going to go just to the right of the bridge. We're not going to take the bridge. I used to go over the bridge in some instances. That was my preferred way of going, but there's no need to do that now. Because I'm not going to the Padre Quino entrance. So we're going to go straight. The intersection is a stop. There's always red lights flashing. Go slow here because there are vendors. And I'm not sure what they sell here. I think it's window polarizers. Or tinters, window tinters. But, this is slow. It's narrow and it's business. And there are speed bumps here. This is a fire station / emergency vehicle garage, from what I've been able to gather. So you can't get lost here. You have to make a right turn here, right? And once you make this right turn, just make sure you go all the way to the left lane, and you're going to stay there until you get to the 2nd Street. So it's 3 lights basically. These lights are always flashing every time I've been in through there, so it's a 4-way stop sign. And again, you're going to stay right here on this left lane because we're going to be making a left turn. This is a one-way street, so you're good. And I do appreciate, again, this is so much easier to get to. And there's it's pretty safe for the most part. There's nothing crazy about it. And you can follow. It's on Google Maps as well. Okay, we're going to go through this light, and then we are going to go make a left at the next light. And again, the only problem that I have with this is, like, for instance, on this particular day, was the furthest that I had seen the SENTRI lane at this location backed up, and then I was very disappointed to see that there were only 2 gates open up at the front when there should have been 3 at least. And now, after the 3-day weekend for people coming in leaving Monday, it's going to be crazy because this is the best way to go. There's no 2 ways about that. And what I love about this entry point, though, is that even if it was backed up, like in Padre Quino, when there's a long line, it's a mess. Going back 4 or 5 intersections that are crazy, and people don't know how to get in correctly, and it causes problems. Some intersections are closed. You can't get in one way or the other. So it's just a big mess. But this one is nice and clean. We're going to make a left, and we'll see shortly here how to get to the lane. It's really easy. The problem that I have, and this particular entry point allows for a lot of traffic. So even if it's backed up like a lot, it doesn't mess with the normal flow of traffic on this road. It doesn't. You stay on this lane, and all the other traffic from the other commuters going to wherever it is that they need to go will be able to get to their point without having to deter or detour to another sort of place. Like the Padre Quino entrance, I feel bad for the people in that neighborhood because they have to deal with that traffic constantly to get from one place to the next, and it's just a big mess. But on this lane right here, as you can see, because it's controlled, the lane could be all the way backed up to here, and it would still not deal too much with the rest of the traffic. Everybody's still going to be able to get to their lane from that point. Here, you just got to make sure that you stay in this lane. And there's a and there's another intersection right there. You just got to make sure that you stay to the left of the rail right here, of the low rail. And by this point, there's also the good thing that I like about here is that there's a police officer coming up that checks people, that make sure they have SENTRI. So you just need to have your card in hand and kind of wave it through your windshield, and they'll see it. Everyone knows by now. But if you don't, they'll stop you and they'll make you get out of the lane. See, there's a cop right there. And here, you just keep going. And this is it. We are there. This is the SENTRI lane. And again, this is the farthest I've ever been. This is the longest line I've ever been into. It's hardly ever here. And what's funny is that this is very fickle. Sometimes it'll be, well, in this case, this far away. And sometimes you would be the first one in line. So it's very weird that way. But yeah, I hope you learn how to get to the lane. From that point right there was 1 hour and 5 minutes. So it's still better as far as holiday traffic. It's still going to be a lot better than going your normal route if you didn't have a SENTRI lane. So that's the only silver lining here. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. Thanks.